transparent there. And I could go ahead and actually start painting that soft light right on top of the layer itself, as you can see there. And so then once you have some of the color on there, however, whatever style you're looking to do, you can also go in with the um, different tools that you have available here, such as like the burn and dodge, and you can get some different color effects as well too. So let's say for instance you did want to make this a little bit darker, you could simply um, go in here and simply either dodge this or burn it. In this case I'm going to go ahead and burn this in a little bit more. So like maybe parts of it you want a little bit darker, you could do that, or you could burn it right on the color layer that you have available. Another option is to actually come up here into image and do adjust and do levels, and then just simply adjust the levels, and you'll see that those kind of change too. That'll give you some different variations. So you have a ton of control when it comes to the digital makeup, and that's why I was kind of saying, initially it's probably a better idea to actually do it directly on top of a new layer so that you have more flexibility down the road, because now at this point I'd have to go all the way back to my original photo if I wanted to start over for any reason. So you definitely, you can work this way, work on multiple layers. So if I want to go a little bit darker with this, let's say I wanted to get more of like a smoky gray color, I could do that as well, and then just start painting that separately on a new layer. And I just go to my brush here, and you see how dark that is. And again, because that's on a new layer, I can simply just bring the opacity down, or I could play with the blending mode a little bit to get a much richer color in the eye. So let's say I want that green to stand out a little bit more, I can darken that up. Okay, so just so you can see, you do have a lot of control over how you paint in Photoshop with all the different effects. Now that we've already done, the one of the eyes, it's kind of interesting having sort of this like gold color and the green under on the top of it, and then the darkening effect. I mean, you can see from the two sides how dramatic that actually can be. Now the same thing with the lips. There's a variety of things that you can do, but in this case I'm going to create a new layer. You could call it lips if you want to be very specific and keep track of things. And again, I'm going to start with a paintbrush. We have a very soft brush. I'm going to actually start with a in normal mode this time, and I'm going to pick sort of a reddish, nice sort of a deeper red color. May even get that a little more on the burgundy side, sort of like the burgundy look. Okay. And again, we'll just start on this layer and we'll start painting that in, and we can just take a look and see which variation is going to look good. In this case, the color gives it more of a pink effect. Okay, the hue, still same thing, is kind of pinkish. So you want to scroll through here and see which one's going to give us the best effect. In this case, I'm kind of liking how that looks, but it's way too dark, so I'd just bring that down. So in this case I've got a linear burn, and I'm going to bring the opacity up to about 40, and then I could continue painting on top of this layer. You just want to paint, all the parts in. You want to make sure you get right to the edge of the lip line and soften that out. And if you mess up on any parts, you either can mask it out, or you can just basically, erase some parts out as well. You want to make sure that whatever brush you're using, it's good to, soften it a little bit so that it looks a little more natural. Okay, so as you can see, I'll just zoom out here, we've added some makeup to her face, and if you wanted, you could throw on that glow effect that we added on initially, and you can see just that dramatic effect that's already created just by simply doing a little bit of the makeup technique and then adding that glow right to it. We've really changed the look. So let me just take off all these layers. You can see we've gone from this, pretty basic photo, pretty girl um, sitting outside, it looks like, and now we have a more dramatic effect just by adding the makeup and this other technique. So again, just experiment. There's a lot of technique that you can do with this. There's a lot of fun things. You could even do more makeup on the face here. You could play around with the lip color. Let me show you one last little trick before we close out here. Is now that we have the lip color, you could come over to Image, Adjustments, and you could do Hue and Saturation. This works with a variety of techniques, but this is a really quick way to do it. And then just simply turn on Colorize, and then you can actually slide your your slider around here, and that's going to also give you some variation on that particular on the lips there. So that's one way to do it. If you come in here and you change this over, sometimes you can see some different effects going on as well. So play around. That's the biggest thing, is play around, see what effect that you can come up with and what's going to work for you. And you can get a whole variety of really, really cool makeup effects. So you can, paint, you can digitally paint on makeup on any portrait. So hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.